homestand starting tonight. Guys, what are you expecting from this matchup? And last keys before we kick off this game.
Thank you very much, Chrissy. Should be an exciting game here. Seattle U trying to pick up their first WCC win. Olivia, when you look at this Gonzaga team, there are some real stars on the offensive end. This is an excellent three-point shooting team and rebounding team. What are going to be the keys for the Zags and for the Red Hawks?
Yes, absolutely. And just like you said, I mean, the threes are going to fly tonight. We talked to Coach Skylar Young, and he said that's a point of emphasis. So also, when you're looking at Coach Fortier, that's also a point of emphasis. So we're going to be in for a nice, hefty, long ball afternoon.
Gonzaga, one of the top three-point shooting teams, not only in the WCC, but in the nation. And they have some stars shooting the ball like Allie Turner on the floor. And they've also got a great player in Taylor Smith who hits a baseline jumper to get us started here, 2-0 to the Zags.
Yeah, and those are really hard to guard, that little like flat line jumper there. And it's a shot that defenders, they're asking you to take, and it's a good shot there from Turner.
Seattle U, their first offensive possession. Their scoring by and large this year has come from Ella Brubaker. Long distance three is off the mark from Timea Strickland. Offensive board for the Red Hawks. They try to get it down low. It's over the head of Lucia Milkovic. We're going to be looking at the matchups down low a lot for Seattle University. One advantage they do have is length and size. Tallest player on this Gonzaga roster, just 6'3", Seattle U. A couple players, 6'5", 6'6", in Bigovic and Milkovic. So we'll see how Seattle U wants to play that as this game goes on.
Right, exactly, and especially that's a foul there from Rodriguez. But especially as you want, Seattle U, if they want to be able to get the ball inside, or it kind of plays to Gonzaga's strength, especially on the defensive end, because they want to get out and shoot these threes. So with the height, if Milkovic and Bigovic could see if they can get out and contest some of these threes. We already saw with that short jumper on the baseline that they're going to have to defend that. So we'll see. It'll get interesting early.
Coach Skylar Young talked pregame about how important it is in this tough WCC conference to be able to adjust day to day, as that layup on a good baseline move is good from Lauren Whitaker. Excited to talk about Lauren Whitaker. This is one of the most exciting young players in the nation. She is averaging nearly a 20-point double-double, nearly 20 and 10 on the season as a redshirt freshman out of New Zealand. She has been electric this year.
Absolutely, and I mean, she's playing defense. You just watch, she's commanding her team. It's getting handsy early. I see a little off-the-ball fouls for each team.
Both teams coming in to play physical here early on, trying to set the tone. Gonzaga at 10-5 on the season. Seattle U at 4-9.
Yeah, but just going back to Whitaker, I mean, just watching how she commands. I mean, if you're just watching her, I mean, she's got all the fundamentals, can step out and hit the three a little bit. I mean, just everything that you could ever ask for, a coach's dream. Some
really good players on this Gonzaga team. Extremely talented and young roster as a three-pointer will fall. Good take from Timea Strickland coming off a 17-point game. Makes it 3-4.
Yeah, we want Rodriguez to shoot that just a little bit more. She's one of the smoothest jump shots on the Seattle U team.
Another feed down low, and once again, Whitaker all too easy to lay that one up and in. That's back-to-back possessions where Whitaker has had no one around her for the layup.
Yeah, and Seattle U's in that zone, and you saw Rodriguez trying to front once they got the ball to the corner, but you can't leave one of the best players in the country open like that.
Mogul on the hook floater gets fouled. It's going to be called on the floor. That'll be a foul on the rebound, correct. So it will be a baseline inbound for the Red Hawks. Down by 3. Taking a look there at Gonzaga head coach Fortier. Lisa Fortier in her 12th year.
Got her.
As they go straight underneath the hoop and getting rejected down there. The Zags stuff Strickland under the hoop and get it back. A foul as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's just tough. I mean, because it was a nice find there underneath to find Strickland, but just goes straight up and gets the block.
Rodriguez will come off. That will be Angela Bigovic coming into the game. So 2 bigs in here for Seattle U. Trying to work on Whitaker, kicking it out. Another baseline jumper, this time from the left-hand side. It's off the mark. Offensive rebound for the Zags, and the pass intended for Whitaker is cut out and taken by Mogul down the other way. Feeds it over to Bigovic. Layup too strong, rebounded by Whitaker.
Good to see the big girl running the floor, though.
That is going to be so important for Seattle U to create offense in this game. Three-pointer on the other end. Clangs out back iron, off the mark that time. It was Taryn Gardner on the miss.
Yeah, that was a hot pass there from Mogul. But you see just so far the pace of this game, I mean, woof. both these teams definitely got to settle into this pace. The threes are going up, and obviously long shots, long rebounds, and both teams are just blistering up the floor.
Gardner will come off. Julia Wilson checking in for Gonzaga. Freshman guard. They'll get it to her. Wilson. Guarded by Brubaker. Passed off this time. Down low. And a foul is committed. Getting space underneath the hoop there was Jaden Haley.
Yes, and every time that ball has gone to that corner or a deep corner, we see that cutter, flashing to the ball, as they should. Seattle U is going to have to defend that a little bit better. That's at least 3 times now.
Inbound pass goes quickly into Akuso, and she puts up the jumper. It's a 5-point early lead here for the Bulldogs. Mogul, Bigovic, good to have her back in the lineup, and running a tall lineup is the Seattle U Redhawks, trying to use that length to their advantage. Corner 3, it was well contested, left just a little bit short, and it'll get beyond the reach of Jaden Haley. They're going to say Haley did not touch that, so it's going to be Gonzaga basketball.
Yeah, pretty good box out there from Haley. She might have got hit in the back of her head trying to go for that rebound as well.
Jana Vesic will check in. The freshman guard out of Serbia. She's had some really good moments this year. Very confident ball handler, good distributor. Over 3 assists per game. Body fake gets a little bit of movement out of the defender, Strickland. And the three-pointer falls on the other end. That is what Allie Turner does. She is one of the best three-point shooters in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, she's shooting just over 44%. I mean, you can't ask for something better than that.
All-American last year, as well as the WCC Freshman of the Year. She's coming off a game in which she hit a season-high 5 of 8 three-pointers.
Wow.
She is someone who you have to keep an eye on from deep, as Strickland leaves that one just short. Rebounded by the Zags. Straight ahead to Turner. She pulls up for another 3, this time left it a bit short. Rebound under the hoop by Strickland. Battles for the defensive board and comes out with it. Vesic.
But so far, I see Milkovic kind of settling for that lob pass. I want to see her show her numbers to her athletes so they can get her a nice inside pass.
Bigovic spinning in, a little too strong off the window. Right down the other way comes Julia Wilson. Wilson sees a little bit of a lane and kicks it out to the corner. 3rd consecutive possession with a three-pointer from Allie Turner. She's now 1 for 3. Right back to Turner, this time on the inside. Clear lane to the hoop. And that will bring us to the first timeout and our first break here of the first quarter. Gonzaga opens up an early 10-point lead, 13-3 when we return.
Hey guys, I want to talk about Gonzaga number 11, Allie Turner. Now she's going to be shooting a lot tonight. She's got 3 shots already tonight from behind the 3. One of them's a make, but she actually had 105 made threes last season for Gonzaga, which set the single season record there for the Zags. She scored a 3-pointer in 11 consecutive games. Tonight that will be her 12th, and she also has double-digit scoring in the last 12 games, dating back to the beginning of the season. So that's going to be one to keep your eye on, and especially from the 3-point line. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Chrissy. She's already taken 3 3-pointers in this game. And Gonzaga get another bucket through Lauren Whitaker.
Yeah, exactly. Just those dives, Whitaker is just getting loose. Such good ball skills to know when to cut, when to dive. You see a turnover here.
Getting a hand in and taking it away was Julia Wilson. Stretch pass ahead to Gardner. Gardner stops up play. Whitaker all the way around. They get it down low. That's great ball movement by the Zags, and it leads to free throws.
Ooh, I think Bigovic might have got hit in the face there. That's definitely very frustrating. Ooh.
They go around the perimeter and then find the interior pass to Haley. Gets fouled, goes to the line. Haley coming off a double-double. Had a really good game, 21 and 12 last time out for Gonzaga.
Yeah, but you saw, out of the timeout, you can definitely see Coach Fortier dialing up the pressure a little bit. It looks like they're in a little bit of a 2-2-1 extended zone. A lot of trapping, though, so Seattle U is going to have to make some good passes out of it.
Second free throw off the mark. CLU the other way, put up a quick shot through Ella Brubaker. Cannot get it to go. Shooting woes early on here for the Red Hawks. Just haven't been able to get that field goal percentage up. They are 1 for 8 from the field as a whistle goes. Foul will be called against Milkovic.
Yeah, that one's tough. I couldn't see it. Probably a displacement foul just running down the floor. But, you know, it looks like they're in the, shooting already for 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
It has not been the start CLU wanted. Early 16-3 deficit, and right now Gonzaga forcing turnovers, hitting their shots, not necessarily hitting from 3 at the rate you would expect early on, but they haven't needed to. They've been getting a lot of good looks underneath the basket with good ball movement.
Exactly, like you just said, really good ball movement and just well coached as well, knowing when to dive, when to make those front cuts, what we call them. So just really good action so far.
And this is kind of those emotional tests that you're going to have in a tough WCC conference. This is a good Gonzaga team. You're down big early. How do you react to that? Coach Young early before the game said that a huge part of this season is going to be being able to regulate emotions through the ups and downs of a season, not letting it affect you. Strickland gets this one, drives in. That's a really good find. And the finish, it'll go down by Milkovic on the Strickland give.
Yeah, and that's when you just talked about regulating your emotions. Strickland is their emotional leader, and she does so much for this ball club. And that pass right there just showed right when you need her, she comes through.
Space on the outside. Three-pointer is drained. Aaron Gardner hits that one.
Yeah, that corner 3 ball on that right side. Seattle U is having some troubles defending it so far.
Gardner, who had a frustrating 19 minutes last time out for Gonzaga, did not score, only took 1 shot, but she hits that bucket as going to the ground and getting fouled. It will be a drive from Vesic, and it looks like she will be going to the line.
Yeah, should be shooting 2 there. Yeah, exactly. Vesic was getting ready to go take the ball out of bounds. Got to be smart and walk right up to that free throw line. Let the referees tell you to go on the end line.
Yeah, it's a smart play. You feel the contact, and you might not be shooting yet, but you're like, you got to throw it up now because then you're going to get to go to the line.
Exactly, yes. And, we saw Vesic be able to get by Wilson a couple times now. The first one was a no call, but this one was a little bit of a tripping foul. So
connects on the first.
Also, you see Rodriguez back in the game with those 2 personal fouls. Hopefully she can stay out of foul trouble.
Early 3 from Rodriguez, but as you said, some early foul trouble as well. Both free throws are down from Jana Vesic. Gonzaga down the other way. 62% from the field to start this game off. Couple of trays. They're going to get space for a 3 again. And again, they're going to punish the Red Hawks. Taryn Gardner back-to-back trips with a 3 from that part of the court.
Yeah, and exactly. Just like you said, out on that same part of the floor. Got to be able to defend that a lot better.
Response is too strong. Batted out. It was last off of Whitaker. It will be Red Hawks ball. And we're going to see a line change here from Gonzaga. They're going to get a fresh 5 out on the floor. Don't see it all too often, especially in the first quarter of a game. But it's a full rotation.
Yeah, exactly, and they're doing their job. When you're talking about doing your job, I mean, they went out there, really punched Seattle U in the mouth, and now they allow their teammates who are, 7th and 8th man to get some burn early on.
Koyamanga in for the first time tonight for the Red Hawks. The freshman guard. Swung around. It's controlled here by Osorobo. Osorobo gets it in the corner. So Kuso. Now in the hands of Paige Loafing. Loafing guarded tough at the top by Dylan Mogul. Has to pass it off. 8 to shoot. Entry pass down low. It's a little high for Taylor Smith to handle, and it goes out of bounds. Good defensive possession there for the Red Hawks.
Right, exactly. And they got out to that 3 ball, defended that corner, and then as you saw, Gonzaga had to swing to the left side of the floor. Ended up turning the ball over.
Never able to penetrate inside the perimeter on that possession, which has been a big problem so far in this game. Manga spins with it.
Good.
Passes it down low. Now swung into the corner. Rodriguez can't get it.
Yeah, and if that pass was just a little bit better, I mean, that's a wide open 3 there.
Smith out wide, Loafing. Back into the hands of Osorobo. Okuso looking for her options, keeps it on the perimeter. They're going to get a corner 3 from Loafing, and it's going to fall. This is a Gonzaga team. We talked about it before the game. You have the stars from 3 like Allie Turner, but there's players all over this roster who can shoot the 3. Gonzaga, they already have 3 different players connect from downtown.
Yeah, exactly. And Adam, that's just so hard to guard. Like I said, that swing pass, and this is a turnover here. But once again, you know, and I just cut my own self off, but Milkovic settling for these lob passes, it's just not going to be there against this team.
Offensive board, or defensive board, excuse me, taken down under some pressure for Seattle U. It's going to lead to a jump ball. Possession arrow staying with the Red Hawks as they're in an early 19-point hole.
Yeah, it's actually, you know, not too bad. You know, first quarter, like obviously, you know, they're down just about 19 points. But if they can get this under, you know, under the, 15-point range, it's still a ball game.
You need to be able to weather the storm here. Gonzaga has gotten off to a really good shooting start, and it's a team that's going to have that at least once or twice in a game. But teams are going to get cold, and that's when you need to be able to respond and cut into this lead.
Right, exactly.
We've seen some really good defensive possessions from the Red Hawks as well. This is just a Gonzaga team stacked with shooting talent.
There you go.
That's a really good connection. Down low, the bucket will fall from Fia Proctor.
Yeah, it's just good. Staying around the rim there from Fia Proctor.
That's a really confidence take from Cristabel Osa-Robo. Goes straight to the rack and gets it to go.
Exactly, going coast to coast. Really athletic play.
There's a burst of pace, a quick step. Seattle U could not react to as 40 seconds remain here in the first quarter. Leads back up to 9 for the Zags.
Yeah.
Attempted swipe. A little too much contact there. Okuso will be called for it.
Yeah, but you can just see Coach Fortier just has our athletes just swarming around. You bring that ball up too high to your chin, and they are coming for you.
Inbound here on the sideline. Rodriguez. It's going to find Dylan Mogul.
Good.
Mogul takes herself left-hand layup, just a little bit strong. Taken down by Okuso. Running the floor looking for the quick transition option, and now slows it down.
See if they look to get the last shot there. But you saw that from Mogul there. I like that confidence drive. You know, she had one early in the first quarter. It kind of clanged off the rim, but this one was a lot more confident. If she can grow, she's just a freshman. We can see what else that development looks like for her.
Got Loafing here, passing it off. Smith trying to get it down low. Red Hawks get it back. They're going to have a chance for a last shot of the corner. It's going to be put up, and it's going to be way short, and that will do it for the first 10. Seattle U 9, Gonzaga 28 on 11 of 17, shooting a really good start for the 10-5 Zags. We will be back for the second quarter of action here from ESPN Plus shortly. The Red Hawks Center, it is a commanding early lead after 10 minutes for Gonzaga, 28-9 over Seattle University. Adam Race alongside Olivia Crawford here. Olivia, name of the game through the first 10 minutes for Gonzaga has been multi-level scoring. They started off taking the opportunities they had down low, and once that three-pointer started to fall, it's really been going well for them.
Exactly, and you know, and for a young team like Seattle U, like when you start to see those threes going on the other side, it's like, oh my God, you know, I can't do anything right. So then it leads to their offense getting a little, you know, hero ball-esque. So if you're Seattle U, you want to go off and listen to what your coach says in that huddle and be emotionally tough and fight through these jumpers there from Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Lauren Whitaker showing off the mid-range jump shot there. She's coming off 22-9, 6 of 12 shooting in Gonzaga's last game. This is a player averaging close to a 20-point double-double as a redshirt freshman. Really incredible stuff. Gonzaga looks to have perhaps back-to-back WCC Freshman of the Year on their hands. Drive is good. Some English on that one. It falls for Fia Proctor.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, Proctor being able to get by her defender there. I believe it was Whitaker, and just playing with a lot of confidence. Seattle U is going to need that going forward.
Proctor only played 6 minutes against Santa Clara. Went 0 for 1, but that is exactly the confidence, just like you said, Olivia, that you want to see for Proctor.
Exactly.
Three-pointer is going to bank in. Milkovic perhaps didn't call bank, but hit the shot regardless, 14-30, and that's a big make. First three of the game for Seattle U.
Exactly. A nice little burst here. You see Whitaker and Milkovic going back and forth down on the block there.
Saw the line change from Gonzaga about midway through that first quarter, but the starters back out there for the Zags. There's Allie Turner. Turner, good move, gets the defender stuck, drives in and scores.
Yeah, that's not right. I mean, but that's a textbook. I'm sure her coaches are just so happy, especially the position coach is just, you know, teaching that, being able to use that hesitation and get the defender's feet to stop and get all the way to the rim.
Turner coming off a season-high 17. As a response from Seattle U, they feed Brubaker, their leading scorer, and she scores under the hoop.
Yeah, exactly, and that's got to feel good there from Brubaker. just moving without the ball and trusting, your big to find you on the backdoor cut.
15 points against Santa Clara for Brubaker. Gets on the board here tonight. 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. 32-16 Gonzaga. It's a long 2-point shot that won't fall for Okuso.
Yeah, 2 shots, not the best if you're Gonzaga. They were getting everything they wanted in the first quarter.
The initial fake, the second shot won't fall after spending an eternity on the rim for Osorobo. It will be Seattle U basketball. Changes for both sides. Bigovic will re-enter, replacing Milkovic for the Red Hawks. As for Gonzaga, Taryn Gardner will check back in.
Really good start to the second quarter there for Seattle U. Obviously still down double digits, but really good steps in the right direction to compete with this stout Gonzaga Bulldog ball club.
Just trying to stop that momentum that Gonzaga had through the first quarter as almost a takeaway, but Seattle U do get it back off the grab from Bigovic. Will feed it back to Jana Vesic. Vesic hands off to Rodriguez. Long 3 from Rodriguez. Won't go. Hit her first 3 of the game, but can't get that one. Whitaker, guarded by Bigovic. Got to guard her close. She can shoot it from just about anywhere. 3-pointer will fall as there is that player, Allie Turner, once again. You just give her a step of space and she'll punish you, especially from those corners. That is her office.
Right, exactly. And, you saw Seattle U get out of that zone and go to this man defense. And that was a guard-to-guard screen, and it should have been a switch. Kind of caught Brubaker's lacking a little bit, and she's guarding one of the best shooters in the conference. Got to be able to get out there.
Brubaker's response won't fall. It's an offensive foul is going to be called here against Dalen, and it will be Seattle U ball. And Dalen, fresh off the bench, picks up an offensive foul and has to go straight back. Lead is once again at 19 here for the Zags. Just trying to extend a 4-game winning streak. They've won 8 of their last 9 games. They're 2-0 in conference play. Bigovic. Back to Rodriguez. Strickland trying to get open, but they go back to Bigovic. Hand off to Jana Vesic. Vesic swings it back. Bigovic, space for 3. Won't go. Back iron and out.
Ooh.
Batted around and rebounded by Rodriguez. Elbow shot won't fall.
Ooh.
Another offensive board for Sydney Rodriguez. That time puts it up off balance, and it's going to be another free possession for the Red Hawks. Vesic now swings it to the corner. Fresh shot clock for Bigovic to work with. Gets the mismatch. Lovely bounce pass, but just short on the layup was Vesic.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit of a pickup ball game there. I mean, 4 offensive rebounds, I think there. No dime, though.
Whitaker right down the other end. Misses on the jumper. Seattle U in that first quarter were getting out-rebounded, especially when it came to the defensive glass. Gonzaga was just cleaning up the Seattle U misses. So that's a really good sign for the hustle crash on the offensive board for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're in that man defense, it kind of helps too. You have a responsibility, like you're a man, you have to box out your mark, so it helps a little bit.
Bigovic threw it into the hands of Taryn Gardner, but the shot on the other end from Turner does not fall. Transition opportunity. Jana Vesic lays it in. Vesic gets the bucket. Also to note for Gonzaga, 8 players already scoring in this game for the Zags, and that was just through the first quarter.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible.
Halfway through the second quarter.
Just this pace, though. Turner is just working them.
Turner and Whitaker going back and forth. Whitaker trying to use the size. He was well defended by Bigovic. Offensive rebound for the Zags. They're going to say the shot didn't go up, so it's going to have to be put up, and it will be off the mark. It will be a timeout on the floor, and our first media timeout here of the second quarter. Gonzaga 35, Seattle U 18 when we return on ESPN+. Red Hawks Center, Gonzaga up 35-18 over Seattle University. Adam Race alongside Olivia Crawford and Chrissy Hetherington. We'll go to Chrissy now.
Yeah, guys, Seattle U's still looking for their first win in their new conference. They knew it was going to be tough. Head coach Skylar Young said this is a fast-paced conference and they're learning to ride the waves. He's trying to teach the team not to get too high or low, but stay consistent and try to meet little goals for each game. For today, that looks like shooting better from 3, controlling the turnovers, and getting the ball inside and showing more of an interior presence. How do you guys assess them so far?
Right on cue there for Jana Vesic. Yeah, this is a game where obviously Gonzaga has been doing so good at that multi-level scoring, and it's been good to see some of the confidence build for Seattle U, I think, on the offensive end as this game's gone on.
Exactly, and I think, getting out of that zone defense, it kind of gets you that mano-a-mano mentality. And speaking of that, the physicality has stepped up a lot for Seattle U.
That's a physical take right there from Tamia Strickland, banging her way in and getting it to go off the glass.
And don't look now, Adam, it's a 12-point game.
This is a nice little run here for the Redhawks there. 7-0 run over the last minute and a half. Best run of the game. Turner drives into the paint, now kicks it back out into the hands of Gardner. Gardner with 10 to shoot. Left hand gets right past and scores.
Yeah, not sure where the help side defense there. Maybe Begovic got clipped up on a back screen or something, but there's got to be some help there.
That breaks an 0 for 4 for Gonzaga. Seattle U's made 3 of their last 3 from the floor. Strickland had the last one. Does she have another? Too strong. Tipped in the backcourt, though. That's good hustle defense from Rodriguez. They kick it to Rodriguez in the corner for 3. Won't go. Another good offensive board for Seattle U. The hustle really picking up here for the Redhawks.
Man,
but an offensive foul is going to give it away.
No, I mean, that's tough. That one's tough. But Turner, making the big hustle play there, getting around and causing that offensive foul.
Some frustration from Seattle U head coach Skylar Young.
It was an awfully soft call, but I think it was the right call.
37-23 Gonzaga. Swinging the ball in is Haley. They try to pass it back to Haley down low. Lost the handle on it. And a good job to get it out from Rodriguez. Would have been a jump ball, but instead she feeds it to Strickland, and Redhawks will get into the half court. Begovic, space for 3. Will get it to go.
Yeah. Just really scrappy so far from Seattle U coming out of this media timeout.
It's now an 11-point ball game after the 3 from Begovic. Gonzaga, they have gone cold here, and Seattle U's found the right time to respond. Turner, the All-American, thinks about it from the elbow. Off balance, has to pass it back off to Taylor Smith. Smith to Turner. Turner, 5 to shoot. 2 players ahead of her. Can't find a window. Rebounded by the Redhawks on the steal from Ella Brubaker. And here comes Strickland, trying to keep this run going, and she will.
It's a good drive. It was a bit of a flop there. I do think, going back to that last Gonzaga possession, I think it was a kick ball that was a no call from the officials.
Strickland is continuing to show that Seattle U physicality as we look at the replay here, getting the contact and going up strong. She'll go to the line to try to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play as Seattle U, they brought it within 10 here, a 12-2 run. Chance to make it a 13-2 here from the charity stripe.
Exactly, and you see some substitutions, getting Whitaker, getting a Kusu back in the game. But also, Gonzaga's gone cold, partly because they're not really creating shots for each other. Back when you're doing your, when Seattle U's in that zone defense, you can kind of swing and kick it to the corner. But now they've got to create for their teammates off the dribble or with some back screen action.
A whistle here. We're going to have a sideline inbound for Gonzaga.
Shot clock, it was at 16 seconds. Good catch from the officials there.
I'll reset it on the inbound. Get it into Turner. Turner out of St. Louis, Missouri. A young star for the Zags. Drive and kick. Gets it back out to Akuso.
Late shot clock now.
10 to shoot for Akuso. Gets a screen. Pulls up from the elbow. Can't get the bounce.
Ooh, they called it Whitaker. Then that's just Whitaker being aggressive on the boards there. Probably is a hold here. What are they calling? Yeah, hold. Just being relentless on the boards. And those are the plays that just get your team extra possessions, and they don't show up in the stat sheet.
It's the reason that Lauren Whitaker is averaging 10 rebounds per game. A lot of those being offensive rebounds. She is aggressive on those offensive boards, and it's effective. Akuso, guarded by Strickland. Minute and a half to go in the first half.
So physical. I love watching this.
The energy is being set right now on the defensive end and offensive end by Strickland, but that's a good right-handed take, falling for Julia Wilson.
Yeah, and just kind of got them on a switch and got the matchup she wanted against Milkovic. Gets all the way to the rim.
Wilson, the 5'10 freshman. Here's Vesic. Minute to play, 20 on the shot clock. Strickland. She's got the hot hand. Kicks it out this time to Rodriguez. Rodriguez thought about a three, drives in for two, gets fouled.
Yeah, just Wilson kind of gets beat off the drive there and kind of gets swiping down action. I think it might have been, I think she got with the body as well, but she's got to be able to rely on her help side defense because she's too talented to be on that bench.
Rodriguez with 3 points on the night. She hit her first shot of the game. It was a three, and since then has gone 0 for 5, 0 for 3 from distance. Chance to extend her scoring, though, here from the line. Yeah. Too strong on the first.
Yeah, she misses the free throw. I just love how aggressive she's being, you know, especially when you have a sophomore. Obviously, you want them to get out of that, you know, sophomore freshman slump, but I'm just more paying attention to the shots she's taking with her aggression.
It's a 10-point ball game here. Couple changes as checking into the game for Seattle U is Imanga as well as Brubaker.
It's been a really good response in the second quarter.
Turner.
There it is. Look
Looking
how
down
deep
low.
that is.
Whitaker can't get it to go. Well defended down low by Milkovich. That's the size and length advantage that Seattle U does have in this game, and Whitaker is just a tough player to stop regardless, but well done on that occasion. 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Chance to cut it to double, or to make it single digits. Strickland, drive and kick. Pass was a little high. Imanga, 5 to shoot in the corner now. Trying to find room to take it as Mogul. And Mogul's too strong off the glass. Does not draw iron, so it will be a shot clock violation. And that'll give Gonzaga a chance to think about this with 10.5. Bring it up off the baseline inbound.
Let's see what they're going to get. Definitely a little high ball screen action. I mean, Whitaker can knock this three ball down, so we'll see what action they get with each other.
Going to give it to Allie Turner.
Here it is.
Whitaker trailing. That is the shot. Whitaker for three. A little strong, little left. And it's going to be a wrestle on the ground that'll bring us straight to halftime. It will be a 10-point lead for the Zags on the road here against Seattle U. 39-29. We'll be back with halftime stats and the road ahead for both of these teams when we return on ESPN+. Time here at the Red Hawk Center. Gonzaga leading Seattle University 39-29. Adam Race alongside Olivia Crawford on the call here on ESPN+. As this is a game that saw Gonzaga off to a really big lead to start things off, and then get Seattle U battling their way back as we take a look at the WCC standings. We talked with Coach Young before the game a little bit. He talked about how the top teams in this WCC conference are really just elite squads, and you're seeing it here. Santa Clara, Gonzaga, Oregon State, 2-0 on the season. Pacific as well, 2-0. There is some really, really tough matchups in this WCC conference. Some of the toughest tests you're going to get anywhere in the nation.
Yes, exactly. And when you're talking about matchups, you're also talking about the athletes. Seattle U is used to being in that, you know, Western Athletic Conference, and now they're in the WCC, and it's just a different matchup, just like you said.
Seattle U off to an 0-2 start in conference play, but it's a really front-loaded schedule for Seattle University. They already played Santa Clara last time out. They play Gonzaga here. As this goes on, they're going to have some more matchups in which they are going to feel more confident coming in to be able to go get a result. But this is a really good test for a team coming into a new conference, trying to get players that experience. And Coach Young said before the game, it's about knowing the level you need to be at. And this is the kind of Gonzaga team where if you can get to that level, even in one way or another, it's a show that you are on the right road.
Exactly. You know, like you said, Adam, like being able to be punched in the mouth first, and then also now when you go and play the, you know, the Pepperdines, the San Diegos of the world, you know, you're used to this level of physicality, you know, the speed, the pace, and everything. So Seattle U, while it's hard right now, it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way in this conference.
As we look ahead to the next games for Seattle University. Seattle U going against Wazoo and San Diego, staying here at home after an extended time without playing here at the Red Hawk Center, and then a tough match on the road against Oregon State and then against the Portland Pilots. This is the part of the season for Seattle U where they want to start picking up those little victories and those bigger victories as they come.
Right, exactly, especially when you're at home like this. I mean, you couldn't ask for something better, starting on Sunday. Because Seattle, Washington State is coming in it. We just saw it 2-13 overall. And then also San Diego down in, I believe 2-9. So Seattle U has a unique opportunity to try and, rack up some confidence and also possibly some wins.
And Seattle U will try to fight their way back a little more in this game, but Gonzaga has the lead by 10. We'll have outscores the Zags 20-11. What a turnaround for the Red Hawks.
Yes, absolutely, Adam. And I think it was switching out of that zone. And like I said a little bit earlier, when you are in that zone, there's really no mano-y-mano mentality, amongst each other. So when you know who's your mark and who you have to box out, it just puts a different level of ownership. And Seattle, you really just turned it around that quarter, and very impressive.
And we can look at the first half stats for this game here, as Seattle University knew they were going to be coming up against a team that can shoot the ball well from both inside and outside the perimeter. And Gonzaga did do that. They shoot 50% from the field and 42% from three. But Seattle University, after a really slow shooting start, getting up to 34% from the field and hitting 4 of 13 threes, doing enough to keep pace and having some really good defensive possessions. The rebounds as well. This is a Gonzaga team that is elite on the boards, but Seattle University just 3 behind them right now.
Exactly, yeah, and just that overall with that rebounding and pushing through. Seattle U, I saw them on the offensive rebounds, just like you said, Adam, was just absolutely stout. We saw in one possession almost 4 offensive rebounds in one possession, Adam.
Yeah, it's those little moments of just sticking with the play and continuing to battle for it, which can really change the mindset of a team going through a game, especially in a game when you're coming in as the underdog. Seattle U just trying to build that culture. And you talked with Coach Young a little bit about the culture before the game as well.
Yes, exactly. And just like he said, and the beauty of it is that he knows this conference, so he knows the type of grit and grind that is needed. And one of the things that he said the most was that I don't have to manufacture it. The girls just love each other. And you can see that on the court. So when it gets hard like that, their culture and their grit is able to shine through. And
it is shining through right now as they're just 10 points behind the Zags. We'll be back after a short break and bring you the second half tip-off here from the Red Hawk Center.
Going to be great. I'm telling everybody, Weedle has to go. We're champs now. We need a cooler mascot. Like what? I don't know. Something handsome.
More than 250,000 fans agree, and that is how Seattle welcomed the world champions.
Just a minute away here from second half tip-off from the Red Hawks Center as Gonzaga leads Seattle U 39-29 through the first 20 minutes of the game. Adam Race alongside Olivia Crawford and our on-court reporter Chrissy Hetherington. Chrissy, take it away.
Yeah, guys, we talked about it. This is going to be a very fast-paced second half, and we saw it in the second quarter for the Red Hawks. They're getting on every 50-50 ball. They're showing determination and grit, and that's what assistant coach Rachel Swartz said was the standout takeaway from that second quarter. She said those were the most offensive rebounds they could have gotten, and that's going to be the big piece in the second half to be able to get their first West Coast Conference win over Gonzaga. Back to you guys.
Offensive rebounds in favor of Seattle U. 6 for the Red Hawks, 5 for the Zags, but the defensive boards have overall been pretty clean for Gonzaga as they picked up 15 to Seattle U's 11. Early on in that game, you saw Seattle U just not being able to find the jumper, to find those open looks, and Gonzaga wasn't giving them anything for free. There were no free possessions, and Gonzaga would go down and make them work on the defensive end. And it looks like Seattle University needed a second to get up to that speed. They're running at that speed right now.
Absolutely, and I think just what you're saying about the pace of this game, and when you're offensive rebounding and when you're rebounding the ball, you can dictate the pace. So I think Seattle U has gone a long way. Also the turnovers, at just about 7 to 8 differential with Seattle U having 8, and that's the difference in the ball game. When you rebound the ball and you take care of the ball, you control the pace, just like you said, Adam.
When you're able to control the boards and control the ball, you can beat anyone on any given night. Seattle U, a lot of work to do here, though. This is a talented Gonzaga team, especially when it comes to shooting. They can go on a run at any moment. We saw it in the opening minutes of the first half. The Zags will try to do it again here in the opening minutes of the second. We are underway. Seattle U starting with the basketball here in the second half. We'll try to continue that hot streak in the second quarter, and that is a very good start for Seattle University as Tamia Strickland, who has looked really good today, hits the three to open up the second half.
Yeah, and as she starts knocking those down, they're going to come out at her, and she's one of the best off-the-drive attackers in this league, so that's going to be a nice night for her.
Response on the way. It won't fall, but it will lead to free throws for Soraya Okuso.
Yeah, and, you know, Ella Brubaker's looking like, I didn't hit her, and she's right. She didn't hit her. Her bestie, Tamia Strickland, hit Okuso over the head, and you never want to foul a jump shooter, as coaches always say.
Okuso will go to the line for the first time tonight. It's a slow night for her. She's 1 for 6 from the field. The junior guard out of Amarillo, Texas. Short on the first. Not a whole lot of free throws taken by the Zags in that first half, just 4. Seattle University taking 5. It's been a largely free-flowing game. Okuso knocks down the second.
Yeah, really free-flowing, and that's also, you know, a testament to Seattle U and Gonzaga Bulldogs being able to defend without fouling.
And that's not to say it hasn't been physical. It has been a very physical ball game.
Right, exactly, especially these two, Whitaker and...
That one just over the head of Strickland, who had space on the cut, but it was a misdirected pass from Milkovic.
Yeah, and before, you know, Milkovic was getting those, you know, passes, you know, those backdoor passes to Brubaker and Strickland, but now with a little bit of ball pressure, that pass is a little bit more errant.
It's just an 8-point ball game right now. Gonzaga just haven't been able to find the shots they were finding in that first quarter. They've got the talent to score even on tough looks, though, as Turner tried to drive baseline and kick it out and threw it right into the hands of a Red Hawk. Long lead pass ahead finds Vesic. She's fouled.
Yeah, and Gonzaga's kind of showing a little, and this is when you're scouting and when you're the Oregon States and the Santa Claras of the world. This transition defense has not been very good from the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Excuse me, that was Brubaker getting fouled, the leading scorer for the Red Hawks. Inbounded to Milkovic, handed back off to Rodriguez. Strickland.
Good defense.
Strickland 3 for 7 from the floor. Dylan Mogul, one of the key contributors to the assists for Seattle U is Mogul, more of a distributor. Strickland trying to create space off the dribble, does so. Can't get the roll, deserved the finish on a really nice dribble.
Yeah, really good defense, but man, that was a nice offensive move, just no finish.
Whitaker swings it all the way around to the corner. 3-ball goes up, will not fall. Down the other way come the Red Hawks. Rodriguez has Brubaker on her left, but takes it herself, goes up through 2 bodies and puts it off the underside of the rim.
Yeah, and that's Rodriguez trying not to pick up her 3rd personal foul there with Turner running the floor.
Turnaround mid-range jump shot. It's going to fall for Taylor Smith.
Yeah, got to settle those if you're Seattle U. I mean, that's just back and forth, and then you see Smith hit that jumper.
Smith, a transfer from Weber State, the first-team All-Big Sky player last season. Milkovic. Strickland gives the signal. Hand off to Rodriguez.
I also want to see Vesic get in the game a little bit earlier than usual.
That's a step-back jump shot that goes off the back iron from Tamia Strickland. It's rebounded by the Zags, taken up the floor by Taryn Gardner. Played consistent minutes off the bench. Turner.
Yep, there
drives in. Good feed all alone is Taylor Smith.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference there. As you know, as Coach Skylar Young tells them to slow down, Seattle U is starting to get tired, and when they get tired, they start to miss those defensive assignments, and then you see Coach, Fortesy is not tired, and she's being able to get her athletes to work that ball around, get a wide open layup.
What a cut, what a find, and a great finish there as Dylan Mogul gets in on the back door and scores. It's a good find from the big Milkovic. Whitaker. Off to Gardner. The whistle goes before the shot. It's going to be a foul.
And that's a tough call because that's just a tired Seattle U guard going under the screen, and Whitaker's just kind of rolling. She's tired too, and now she's picking up her first personal foul.
Vesic and Bigovic are going to check in for Seattle U.
Much needed breather for both teams there. I still see a lot of huffing and puffing, but media timeout is at least another minute and a half, so they're going to have to push through.
Rodriguez. Finds Strickland.
Good.
Muscling her way
Good
in.
defense.
A well-contested shot. That was smothered by Taylor Smith. Nowhere to go for Strickland. Couldn't get it to draw iron.
Yeah, Smith, that's her second block. I think she got Rodriguez in a similar fashion. Now she got Strickland.
Turner thought about the three, didn't take it. Finds the bounce pass to Smith instead, and the cut, and the and one. That's a lovely bit of basketball to finish from Jaden Haley.
And what a luxury to have. You know, one of your stars go out just for a breather, and then you get Haley in there. Big body, slides to the basket, gets the and one.
Saw in the first half, Allie Turner take 3 after 3, and she's turned to more of a distributor here in the second and third quarters. Haley to the line. 2 of 4 from the charity stripe so far in this game. She's taken 4 of the Zags' 6 free throws. She cannot convert on the old-fashioned three-point play, but that one deflected off Rodriguez and out. Gonzaga ball. That's the kind of mistake you cannot be making against a Gonzaga team. As we look again at this dish and finish, just lovely 1, 2, 3 passing.
Yeah, exactly. Nice dive.
Turner. Guarded by Vesic. It's good defense.
Yeah, really good defense. Oh.
And a reach in there. Commentators' curses. Hand in the cookie jar.
Arm bar. This is almost never called. And, I mean, it was an emphasis, 7 years ago? maybe 5 years ago. But arm bar is never called. But here we are, 2026.
Vesic hit with her second personal foul. Turner trying to work around a screen. Off to Smith.
Good. Look how deep that is.
Down low. Haley can't get it to go.
But that's such good deep post presence there from Haley. Whitaker does it, and then Haley does it as well. That's going to take them really far.
Begovic saw the lane herself. Drives in. Trying to feed the bounce to Vesic. Whistle goes, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Excuse me, a turnover, I believe, stepping out of bounds on the baseline.
They called it the baseline. Oh, okay, yeah. All I knew is I thought it was the travel there from Begovic, but I think it was the baseline out of bounds there. Seattle U having an issue scoring the ball to open this quarter up.
We saw it in the first quarter. They were stuck at 3 points for a few minutes. It was a 5-minute scoring drought in that first quarter, which led to the early big Gonzaga lead, but Seattle U since then has done more of the scoring. Behind the back dribble. Turner going on a trip and now passing it off. Jumper falls. Taylor Smith has the hot hand right now for the Zags.
Exactly, and Turner just keeping her dribble alive, almost like Steve Nash, Sue Bird-esque.
It's the kind of player that you need to follow. You can't let her get any space because she can score it from anywhere, and
right.
It just leaves space for Taylor Smith, the mid-range jumper.
And that's the same two-hand arm bar that they didn't call.
Begovic trying to lay it up and under. A little too light on the finish. Gardner. Over halfway through this third quarter, foul is called against Chloe Amanga.
Got her on the body.
Paige Loafing set to check in, but we will have our first media timeout here. It is Gonzaga 48, Seattle U 34 when we return. to 34, Gonzaga over Seattle U. So far, Gonzaga 9 points in this third quarter to Seattle U's 5, but this is still certainly a ball game with some of the runs we've seen both these teams go on. It could go any which direction. Free throw missed on the first half of the 2 from Taylor Smith. Hits the second. Dalen will check in for his second time tonight. Montesano, Washington, transfer from Minnesota. Averaged 21 and 16 at Montesano High School.
Oh, that's good. I know she's got some family in the audience, a little bit closer to home.
Vesic drives and gets it to go. That's the confidence that we'd really like to see from Vesic on the drive. Fearless going in to score.
Exactly, just attacking, loafing.
Haley Try to get it to Turner. Turner does well to avoid the backcourt violation. There's a 3-ball on the way from Loafing, too strong. Rebound is taken down by Haley. Kept alive for Turner. Turner spins the rim and will not fall.
Yeah, not a whole lot of transition offense here from Seattle U.
Gonzaga, that shooting percentage still hovering around 50%. Seattle U around 35%, but that's bogged down by a good cold run in the first. So foul will go to the baseline here.
Yeah, once again attacking Loafing.
Loafing will pick up a foul, her first. Baseline inbound coming from Besic. Getting some space around us. Tamia Strickland takes the 3 right off the inbound. Doesn't get it to fall. That's the shot they wanted, and Strickland just off the mark.
Exactly. Just like you said, Adam, that's the shot that they want. Just those little quick hitters out of bounds. Strickland can hit those.
You saw the reaction from the bench when she got the shot, that was exactly what they were looking for, but Strickland still just 1 for 4 from beyond the arc in this game. She's gotten a little bit cold. She's now 3 for 11 from the field. Turner hasn't taken a shot in a long time as the long 2-pointer. A little too strong. Offensive rebound, and right on cue, Turner takes and hits.
Those are just back-breaking there, and Turner just biding her time. And, you know, when you get those kickouts like that, those, as a shooter, they just make you feel really good because it's the defender is running out at you and nothing but the bottom of the net.
Second 3 for Turner. She averages 3 makes a game from beyond the arc. Turnover for the Redhawks. Gotta not let yourself get into your emotions right here. Gonzaga maybe looking poised to go on a run.
Exactly. They're whipping that ball around now, kind of getting used to.
That foul's going to be called. Looks like it's going to go against Strickland. It will be Tamia Strickland, and that's going to be her 3rd. She'll have to go to the bench, as will Donna Begovic into the game. It's an early trip to the free throw line here. After the 5th foul by the Redhawks, 2:35 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Dalen to shoot. Hits the first.
You see just the pace slowing down here. A lot of free throws. Seattle U, the transition offense just hasn't been there in the same way.
As now with Besic off the court, it will be Dylan Mogul to handle the ball up the floor. Mogul works to her left. Double teamed and trapped, and she gives it away. Taken down the other way by Julia Wilson. Wilson, Euro step. What a lay, but it will not get the bounce. Rebounded by the Redhawks. A scuffle for it, and it's going to stay on this end of the court.
Yeah, exactly. You just see, you know, right when I think they like to do their little fire press when Wilson comes in the game because she's so athletic. But Seattle U, you know, having that freshman point guard dribble right to the depth spot is what we call it. There's someone's got to be an outlet there for Mogul.
Seattle U 2 minutes scoreless. The lead is opened back up here for Gonzaga, 54-36. And here comes some scoring help as Ella Brubaker checks in. 15 points per game this season for the graduate student guard. Transfer from Pepperdine. Had 15 points last time out against Santa Clara. But has not had that kind of performance so far today.
Good.
Just 1 for 3.
And 1.
And 1 falls. As that is Jaden Haley. She's had a really good second half.
I think that's Whitaker there, and I just was watching her and Milkovic battle. The footwork there, I mean, if we can watch that back, and maybe it's just me that likes it, but just the footwork and buries her shoulder into, what was it, Milkovic there and finishes around the rim.
That is Whitaker going up strong. Does that about as any freshman in the country. And she completes the 3-point play. For Whitaker now, she's got 10 points and 8 rebounds. It's looking like yet another double-double on the way. It has become routine for her this year.
Exactly. Routine, a little bit under her average scoring-wise. But as I'm watching, you know, she kind of gets tired. You know, she's a freshman, so a redshirt freshman, excuse me. So I want to see her really step her game up to the next level and be able to take as many shots as possible, as much as her team needs her to. Just continue to be aggressive.
There's rebound number 9 for the redshirt freshman. And
there
they get it
goes.
right back to her, up and in, 2 straight makes. She's now 6 of 11 from the field. It's the kind of player who you might think she's having a quiet night. You look at the stat sheet and you realize she might be the best player on the floor.
Exactly. Just like you said, 13 and 9. She's probably going to get the rebound here. Or the
Bigovic,
steal.
and the steal from Whitaker. This has been a great sequence for Whitaker, the Kiwi.
Oh, man, that's fun to watch.
Three-pointer, yes. This is Gonzaga playing how they want to play. Paige Loafing checks in with the tray.
You see Coach Skylar Young. I think he's probably going to get a timeout here. Yeah.
We will call the 30-second timeout with a minute left here in the third quarter. And we will go to a 30-second timeout here. We'll be right back.
All right, yeah, just a little 30.
(62-36) with a minute remaining in the third quarter. Let's take it to Chrissy Hetherington.
Guys, one of the keys to this matchup was going to be containing Gonzaga's number 33, Lauren Whitaker. She was recently named National Freshman of the Week. She's earned several recognitions by the West Coast Conference already, and she averages almost 20 points a game. Right now, she's only got 10 points, and she's still 2 rebounds shy of her 7th double-double of the season, which is the most by a Gonzaga freshman in school history. How have you guys assessed Seattle U's ability to stop her so far tonight?
We talked about it a little before the break that although she has not been involved on the scoring end as much as you would expect, this is a player who's putting up 20 points a game. She has found her moments to really pop up and be the leader on this team. So impressive from the redshirt freshman. What do you think, Olivia?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm just, obviously the scoring and the rebound is nice, but I'm just watching the way she takes up space and watching the way she's posting up, moving without the ball. She has such good ball skills that you just can't teach, you can't coach. And then as you know, you just watch her finish that and one down there. That's something that is so small, but just the footwork that she was able to get in there to get that and one is what I'm looking at. And she's just been nothing short but of incredible.
1 for 2 from the line for Osorobo. Whitaker, the New Zealand U18 MVP.
Yeah.
Great young talent for the Kiwi national team. Proving it at the D1 level, as we've got a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And Seattle, you're going to take some time off the clock right here. Strickland off to Proctor. Proctor finds Brubaker down low, swarmed immediately, stripped away from her before she could get the shot up. Osorobo running it in transition, 5 to shoot. Loafing takes it and hits. Loafing pulled up from a few feet behind the three-point arc from WNBA range, cashes it to end the third quarter, 66-39. What a quarter for the Zags. They have opened things up. We'll be right back for the final 10 minutes here from the Red Hawk Center. Campus of Seattle University, Gonzaga turning it back around in the third quarter, 66-39. Adam Race alongside Olivia Crawford here for you at the Red Hawk Center, as we saw that three-pointer go down right before the buzzer from Paige Loafing, who has had an incredible little performance here in the second half. She has now 9 points in just 8 minutes. 3 trays for Loafing in quick succession, including that one to beat the buzzer.
Exactly. It's definitely something to get on this bus ride and feel good about for sure.
As that's a desperation shot and a circus finish. Tamia Strickland, I don't know how she put that in, felt the contact, put up the shot, and somehow scooped it home.
Yeah, I want to see that one again. That's just such a highlight reel. Wow.
That is incredible from Tamia Strickland. The body control and focus to be able to put that in, falling down to the ground and complete the three-point play. Maybe the little momentum boost the Red Hawks need as they're going full court press right now, and they've got Gonzaga stuck for the moment, but they break that press. Robo lays it up and in.
Yeah, not bad though. I like them taking risks. I mean, you're down a 20 ball right now. Might as well get back in the game and see what can happen.
Besic fakes the pass, puts the shot high up off the glass.
Nice response so far from Seattle U. Calling off the press a little bit there, maybe just off made free throws.
It was a dominant third quarter for Gonzaga, 27 points to Seattle U's 10, as this is an amazing start for Seattle U in the fourth quarter. This is just what we saw in the first half, a dominant first quarter from Gonzaga, and Seattle U able to pick up the tempo and the pace. It's really worked out for them once again, just like we saw in the second quarter.
Exactly, and just like you said, Adam, only this time I think Seattle, you might run out of time, trying to crawl back in the game. But also, and I was just looking at this Gonzaga offense, they kind of get a little stagnant, in the front court once their initial action doesn't work. So I want to see them continue to move that ball around.
When they went deep into the shot clock in that second quarter, when they only scored 11, it just was not working for them as the three is no good, but an offensive rebound, that's another big reason Seattle U was able to turn around the second quarter was the offensive boards. They get one here.
That's the same armbar that she's not calling.
Brubaker drives baseline, kicks it out. Strickland, 6 to shoot. Back to Brubaker, corner. Trey, yes!
There you go. Put him up. And I was just going to say Seattle U needed Brubaker to get going, just sitting on 5 points. Now she's up to 8 with that 3.
Gonzaga trying to find their offensive footing. That's a good find. That's exactly how you find your offensive footing. Get it to Whitaker.
I mean, just beautiful execution there, and that's half Whitaker, and that's half, that back screen there that no one really gets too much, cross screen that no one gets too much highlight for, but also how deep she's catching it. She's not catching it way off on the block. She's catching it right underneath the basket, and you just can't guard that.
Whitaker, second and 1 of the game. She's a rebound away from her 7th double-double, would be a Gonzaga freshman record. It's a season where Whitaker looks to break a whole lot of Gonzaga freshman records.
Exactly. I mean, she's just a matchup nightmare because we saw her in the first possession being able to get that ball in the pinch post and then do that little spin move that Coach Chantal Osahor probably is coaching them up to do.
Via Proctor. 15 to shoot, hands it off to Brubaker, had the tray, and that time a crossover into the lane, just put it off the underside of the rim.
Yeah, finished that with her left hand there, but it was a nice drive.
It's given right back as that one actually goes off of Coach Young.
Yeah, knocks his glasses off. Everyone's getting physical today.
He's getting involved just as much as the players. It will be a forced turnover by the Redhawks.
Whatever it takes, Adam, whatever it takes.
All 5 and sometimes 6 players out on the floor. Rodriguez on the inbound. Some action here off the inbound for Seattle U. See what they have drawn up to try to get a shot. They're looking for Vesic cutting into the basket. They do find her, and she finishes and 1. That was such a tight window that Rodriguez had to fit that pass into. Thought initially she might not be able to find that window, but good reach by Vesic and focus to get to the hoop.
Yeah, and this is frustrating because now if you're Turner, you're the one that's getting called to coach Fortesy, when it really wasn't even her fault. But as a point guard, we get all the flack there, and she's got to command her team, but that backdoor can't happen.
Vesic clangs that one away. It's 10 points in this fourth quarter for the Redhawks, 5 for the Zags. So already how many points Seattle U scored in the entire third quarter. It's only 2.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Foul called against Vesic.
Yeah, but this is this is probably the best defense I've seen from Vesic. I think that one's called because it's right in front of the officials, but the way she's gotten over these ball screens has been really impressive this afternoon.
Akuso trying to turn the corner. She's fouled on the floor.
Yeah, pretty inconsistent so far from these officials, I will say. Just some of them, just all night. Some of them are like hand checks, but they're not calling it in the beginning, and now you're calling it now. It's kind of confusing. As you see, that's Strickland's 4th personal foul.
She'll have to go to the bench. 3-pointer off the inbound, cashed in. That's Gardner.
Really good execution. Really good screen there as well.
Gardner, a 3-point specialist, but it means a little less on this Gonzaga team when everyone really can shoot the 3.
Right.
Good turn and a foul. Brubaker will go to the line. Gardner, after hitting the shot, picks up the shooting foul. Brubaker with 8 points, chance to go to double digits. Now Vesic, 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting. 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line. She's been really good, but Brubaker, only 7 shots in the game. She's 3 for 7. She's hit a couple of trays and gets her first free throw of the night to fall.
And Also talking about this Bulldog Ball Club, I think some depth. I think they're kind of missing it a little bit and keeping them from that upper echelon. Like obviously they're going to be in the top 3, top 4, but I think if they want to go to that next level, they got to develop these guards outside of Turner and a couple of other players. Like they need a little bit more.
As there's Turner checking in with her 4th three-pointer of the game. They just stepped off her there, and she said, "Thank you very much."
Yes, thank you very much. A quiet 16 points. Just she's their floor general. Everything runs through her. Such a joy to watch.
Milkovic turns and puts it up, back iron and out. Milkovic seems like she got a shot up to the face there, but she will walk it off. 6.5 to go.
Give it to her.
Turner down low, Whitaker hounded for the ball, and it is stripped away, kept alive. I don't know how they got that to Whitaker. A pass from the floor around back to Turner. Turner hits the corner, swings it back down low. Baseline jumper goes for Taylor Smith.
Yeah, and I mean, she has a sweet jumper. I've seen her hit a couple of those tonight. All of them been nothing but net.
You have players who can hit the three. You have players like Whitaker who can score down low, and Smith who can score from that mid-range. Rodriguez thought about giving it to Brubaker. Instead in the corner, 3 from Milkovic. Gets the hop.
Yeah, she's using every last bit of that rim and backboard tonight on those threes.
She had a banked 3 earlier on and gets that one off the rim, off the glass and in. She's 2 for 2 from 3. And on the stat sheet, it's not going to say it hit the rim. It's not going to say it hit the glass. It's going to say it hit the bottom of the net.
Exactly.
Foul committed down low, trying to take that one away. It's going to go against Brubaker. It's her second. A couple changes for each side. Dylan Mogul and Amanga coming in for Seattle University. Whitaker will come off, as well as Karen Gardner for Gonzaga. Julia Wilson checking back into the game, as well as Jaden Haley. They're going to find Haley on the inbound, but she gives it away into the hands of Bigovic. Bigovic, pass to Mogul, straight to the hoop, up, too strong. Milkovic on the offensive rebound, blocked away. Haley there to reject it, not once but twice.
This big body, knows her role. Very solid.
Wilson. She's got a really quick first step. Got to watch her if you're Brubaker. Does well there. Haley. Return to Haley. Gets it up through contact and will go to the line.
Yeah, I just love how well their post play moves without the ball. Like every time that ball is entered on that block, someone is making a face cut to the basket.
As we will go to the media timeout and be right back here. 79-54 when we return. Four minutes 50 remaining in this game. Gonzaga has opened up a 25-point lead on the road against Seattle University. Gonzaga looking to go to 5-0 in road contests this season and 3-0 in conference matchups in the WCC. Seattle U playing their first WCC home game ever here at the Red Hawks Center, and they've had some really good stretches. You look at that second quarter especially, 20-11. And in this quarter as well, it's 15-15. But those first quarters and third quarters, Gonzaga played exactly how they want, hit their threes, forced turnovers, and really hurt the Red Hawks. That's a beautiful give. And the finish from Brubaker.
Exactly. Just caught her slipping there. Ella Brubaker has some really nice backdoor cuts.
Brubaker, who has climbed up to double-digit scoring. Haley into the corner. Turner. Got a handful of threes in this game. Tries to put up the 2, was rejected by Bigovic. And it will be Seattle U ball. Rebounds right now, a big advantage for Gonzaga. 36 to Seattle U's 23. It's been especially an issue here in the second half. Seattle U hasn't been able to clean the glass.
Yeah.
Bigovic. Brubaker, three-pointer, highly contested, wanted a whistle, didn't get it, and could not draw iron on the shot. It was well defended, a good closeout by Julia Wilson.
Right, yeah, good closeout. And Brubaker kind of has a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it funky, but it's a little hitchy, and it allows the defenders, because it's like a set shot, to, get back in the picture. I do think she might have got her legs taken out from under her, though.
Now Kuso turns with it. Hands it back to Haley. Turner works around a screen.
Good
Pass
hustle.
down low. Strickland got in the way. That's been the hustle we've seen from her all night. Brubaker running the floor in transition. Bigovic, long three-pointer. Won't go. Rebounded by Imanga. All alone for three is Brubaker. Connects on her third tray of the game.
Yeah, staying in it, just fighting. And that's what you want. And, Coach Skylar Young, and with that grit all season long, that's what they've been portraying. And tonight is no different.
Brubaker's come alive here. She's got 15 points in the game.
Yeah, but if Seattle U wants to go far and win some ball games, she's got to be – oh, nice cut, nice pass. But just, sometimes she kind of is like a pedestrian, kind of just like waiting on the game to come for her. She's Seattle U's leading scorer, and they need her to step up at all games. And it's hard being the number one, but I have a lot of faith that she can do it for this ball club.
Brubaker cashing that one in. She's got 13 second-half points. She only had 2 in the first half. Shows that when she does get hot, she can change offenses.
Yeah.
First free throw falls. It's Haley at the line.
Yeah, it could be her, Strickland, Rodriguez, and she's, I believe, a graduate senior, so Seattle U is going to need more from her.
Look around this Gonzaga lineup. I mean, this is a good, talented team and a really young team.
Yes.
This is going to be a squad that's a problem for years to come. Haley has had a really good game. She's one of the freshmen on this team. Paige Loafing checked in with 3 3-pointers off the bench. She's a freshman. Of course, you have Whitaker, who's looking to become a WCC Freshman of the Year as the take rolls around the rim and will not go for Rodriguez. It's been one of those nights for Rodriguez shooting the ball, just nothing falling for her.
Nothing falling. It was a good drive, but like you said, just having a tough go. But like you said, Adam, with this young Gonzaga team, I'm just so excited to see the development here for them get back at the top of the WCC as probably where they belong.
Loafing passes it off. Hustle defense from Brubaker, but it does get through to Julia Wilson. Strong take and one. Excuse me, that's a charge called against Wilson, as getting down there and drawing the foul is Rodriguez.
And that one's tough. Little bang-bang call there. But way to step in there, Rodriguez. And she's so much fun to watch. She does all the little things. This little hustle play right here. Yeah, I don't know. Inside the circle, but yeah, I don't know. That lower defensive box, I don't know. They change. I'm telling you, they change it every year, the officials. So we'll see. But that looked like a and one to me.
Rodriguez gets the benefit of the call and forces the offensive foul. Shots off the mark from Brubaker. Frustration from Coach Young. 2 minutes to go here. Following the game, we will have a post-game interview with Gonzaga head coach Lisa Fortier with Chrissy Etherington.
Right off her leg.
Just losing the dribble there is the freshman Paige Loafing.
Yeah, and there's just, not to pick on that play, but I do think when we're talking about the youth of this Gonzaga ball club, if they can get, the guard development outside of Turner, I think they could be show-stopping. But I do think when you're looking at all the matchups, when you're looking at the top echelon, especially Santa Clara, their guard play is stout. I think Gonzaga is going to have to develop that a little bit more.
They've got the talent to become the real power in this conference. Is just getting right around the defender, but a little strong in the finish was Imanga. Still full energy here from Rodriguez. Pressure on Loafing. Substitution timeout called here. Just be a quick one. Going to the bench will be Gardner for the last time tonight. And checking in to see it out is going to be Cristobal Sorobo. Out of Spain by way of the Ipswich Academy in England. Loafing. Off to Wilson. 10 on the shot clock. Loafing's 3 for 4 from long distance.
Yes, look how deep this is. She might have got hit.
Get it down low, no whistle. It will stay on this end. The feed went in towards
Yeah, no doubt in my mind that, Coach Chantel Shahor's fingerprints are all over this post development because it's just incredible to watch. Look at this. Beautiful post move.
Haley just using the strength right there, getting it up off the window.
Yeah, it's so deep, taking what the defense gives her. Really good post play.
2 or 3 possessions left in this one. Gonzaga are headed to a dominant victory. They were the favorites in this game and really showed what they can do at their very best. Seattle U, though, they showed flashes as well. That shot's off the mark.
And brought it back to within 8, I believe, in the second quarter. And third quarter just kind of came out, and it was close in the beginning of the third quarter. Neither team was really scoring. And then that last 7 minutes of the ball of that third quarter, it just really got ugly for Seattle U.
10 made 3-pointers for Gonzaga, but 9 made 3-pointers for Seattle U. We talked pregame about how this was going to be a 3-point show, and it has been that. Wilson gets fouled. She'll go to the line with 7.1 remaining. So Gonzaga's going to go to 3-0 in WCC play. Seattle U still searching for that first WCC victory.
Yeah, we saw some really good minutes from Proctor there in the first half. Kind of went away from it in the third quarter with all the helter-skelterness of it.
Yeah, look at this fourth quarter. Seattle U, 20 points to Gonzaga's 19. And it's those little victories that Coach Young talked about pregame. There certainly have been those to look at in this one for Seattle U. Offensive rebound as Haley draws it, and she's going to draw a jump ball. Redhawks with the possession arrow, so with 5.4, they will see the last few seconds of this ball game. They're going to roll it out. Makes you think they do want to get a last shot up here. Vesic gets a screen, gets a lane all the way in and cannot connect. Too strong off the glass, and a little bit of contact as back up to their feet are all players involved. Very good to see, as that will do it for the ball game. Final score, Gonzaga 85, Seattle U 59. Seattle U go to 4-10 on the season. Gonzaga to 11-5. 3-0 in conference play for the Zags, 0-3 for the Redhawks. We'll be right back after a short break for an interview with head coach Lisa Fortier alongside Chrissy Etherington.
Now, Coach, your 300th career win, and you're the fastest coach to do so in program history. What does that milestone mean to you and your ability to do that with Gonzaga?
Well, I didn't know that it was my 300th win. And, you know, it's the part that's meaningful is that we have players here who I coached as an assistant coach and I coached as head coach. And, you know, I have a player on my staff who I coached. And so that's the part about it that makes it special, is just that I've been around for a long time and been able to, you know, share the success with the great players that we've been able to coach. And so it's fun to have those guys here on a day like this, because that's what matters. The players are the meaningful part of what we do. And so I'm fortunate to have been able to do it with those guys. And actually Jordan, Stacy, and Craig have been with me for every single one of them as well. So it's fun to have those guys still on the sidelines with me.
Yeah, and you've seen a lot of different versions of this Gonzaga team. You said this team before, the game is ever evolving, constantly changing. What did you learn about your team today in this win?
Well, we're playing without a starter. You know, we have a player who's down and sick, and we had a terrible second quarter, and I just thought that we really rallied. You know, I don't know what the last 2 quarters look like score-wise, but I know that it wasn't out of hand like it was the second, and so just that we're resilient and that we're working through stuff. It's live speed, so sometimes it's not pretty, but we're working through it, and we're capable of a lot more than we're showing right now. But each game we're learning stuff and getting better.
Yeah, now you're 3-0 to start conference, and a pretty good conference. There's a fast pace of play. What are you looking forward to build off this momentum?
You know, just taking it one game at a time. I think that you don't win a basketball game one possession at a time. You don't, you just have to, or with all possessions at one time. You have to go one possession at a time. That's the same with a championship or getting to the NCAA tournament or whatever. We just want to keep getting better. Like those are goals that are out there, I think, but those are so far in the distance that our goal is just to be better on Sunday than we were today. And I think that there's areas we can improve, hopefully in one day of practice before we get back out here together again.
Well, good luck the rest of the season, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All done.
Final score here as Gonzaga picks up their 5th consecutive win and do it on the road against Seattle University. Adam Race alongside Olivia Crawford. Olivia, this is a game where both teams had quarters where they were the better team, but Gonzaga, when they were hot, they were just on another level. They were knocking down threes. They were finding ways to score on the inside, and they were cleaning up the glass.
Right, exactly. And I think that's just a team that has a standard, with Coach Lisa, and then also with Seattle U, that's just a team that's trying to get a standard. So when in those waning moments, when more teams are more fatigued and things like that, you really see Coach Lisa's standard really show up a little bit more. But Seattle U has a lot to build on from this ball game.
So we can take a look at the final stats here for this game. Gonzaga doing what they've done all season and just shooting really well from the field. 53%, 31 of 58, knocking down 10 threes on 21 attempts, and the assist number also very impressive. We saw some really good ball movement from the Zags. There were times where Seattle U, they can't cover everything because of the multi-level scoring threats that are on the court for Gonzaga, and of course the rebounds 42 to 27. Huge advantage for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, exactly. And, if you're shooting just over almost 50% from the three, I mean, each time it's just like you're on edge as a defender. We saw Turner get a kick-out offensive rebound and knocks the three down. It's just so hard to guard. And this ball club can shoot the lights out. So much fun tonight watching them.
Now, when we talked to Coach Skylar Young of Seattle U before the game, he said that all of these games we have individual goals. And one of the big goals tonight, coming off a game against Santa Clara where they turned it over 17 times and gave up a lot of points, is try to be better in the turnover battle. Right. Seattle U absolutely did that. They turned it over 13 times, but they forced 16. Some really good hustle defense. And there were moments where Gonzaga was really forcing a lot of turnovers, but Seattle U, for the most part, taking care of the basketball.
Exactly, taking care of the ball. And when you take care of the basketball, you control the possessions. And like we said, Adam, you're controlling the pace. So that is a big win, especially for this young team. Vicic saw leaps and bounds defensively, offensively. Tamia Strickland, just playing the lights out. Obviously, the shots didn't fall. But like you said, taking care of the basketball is half of the battle.
Once again, the final score here for Gonzaga versus Seattle U. The Zags 85. And the Red Hawks 59. Gonzaga will now take on Santa Clara in a huge road game on Sunday between two of the best teams in the conference. And Seattle U will take on Wazoo here at home in a couple of days. For myself, Adam Race, Olivia Crawford alongside me, Chrissy Hetherington courtside, of course, up in the booth, Robbie Loya, our producer and director. We thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Final, Gonzaga 85, Seattle U 59. Good night, and thank you for watching.